GM. Hey everyone, welcome. Really glad you're here. My name is Dinesh. I'm a DevRel engineer at Gold Rush by Covalent, and today we are running an official workshop for the Colosseum Frontier Hackathon, especially for the Gold Rush and Covalent track. First, huge shout out to everyone who's already submitted or is currently building. Our team has been going through the submissions, and honestly, we have seen some really cool products being built on the API. The creativity coming out of this has been generally exciting. Builders are using gold rush in ways that we didn't even anticipate when we wrote the brief. The reason we are running this workshop today is straightforward. Our team has been collecting the most common questions and pain points from builders across Discord, the forum, submissions themselves. So instead of answering the same questions one by one, we wanted to get everyone in the same room and address them directly. Here's what we are covering today in brief. First, we are covering X202, how you can access Gold Rush with no API key, no sign up, and how your AI agent can pay for its own bills. Secondly, we are covering the Gold Rush CLI, 17 commands, terminal first, the fastest way you can explore on-chain data before you write even a single line of app code. And third, we are also showcasing the MCP, how you can connect your AI, whatever you're using, and query over 100 plus blockchain as a live data source directly inside Cursor, Cloud Code, Windsurf under 5 minutes. Then we'll go over a agent setup, a full architecture for autonomous agent that reads on-chain data, make decisions, and fund its own queries. And we're closing with a hackathon autopsy. Let's see real patterns from real submissions, what's working, what's breaking, and the three rules that separates the projects that win from ones that don't. Let's go. So, uh, for the submissions, right? Uh, I just finished reviewing 8 real submissions for this hackathon, and not hypothetically, I tested every real life demo, and I wanted to tell you something before we go any further. Three of those 8 projects had this exact same error code, 452. They called the Covalent API directly from the browser. Covalent blocked it, demo dead, we can't really use your submission. One project even had its API key visible in the UI itself, in the input field on the page, literally readable. Anyone who visited the site could steal it. These weren't necessarily bad builds, the submissions had real ideas, but the details killed them. And every single one of those mistakes is preventable in under 10 minutes. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you 4 tools that remove those failure modes entirely and how to use Gold Rush in a way that actually wins this track. But first, let me tell you what Gold Rush actually is, because most builders in this hackathon are only using about 10% of what's available. So I'll just share my screen. So there's a specific page for Solana. I'll just copy paste it into chat. Make sure you go through it. So on the Solana side, we have foundational API, which is structured spot data for over 100 plus chains. We have a streaming API where you can just subscribe to a real-time feed of live data on chains, and we also have a pipeline API where uh, you can get all the data into your data warehouse, whatever you might be using, ClickHouse and Postgres, whatever data you might be using. So uh, they are we have given simple guides on how you can use them. Everything from you can use them from curl, you can use them from your SDK usage. On the foundational API, we have given a wallet API where you can get your token balances for addresses. On the streaming API, we have given them new DEX pair streams where you can basically uh, test get pairs for plenty chains are supported here. One really good example that we built out over a weekend is dex.goldish.dev, where we can stream live pairs. We have OHLCB charts, we have bubble maps, super feature rich, and all of this was built over a weekend. That's how simple Gold is actually able to use is then you can get OSLCV charge, you can get OSLCV pairs, tokens, you can get update pairs, you can get tokens, you can even get a query to do token search. And on the pipeline API, you have DEX swaps and SPL token transfers, and there are also updated resources where you can go through. These are over 100 chains that we support. So coming back to what we do, so Goldrush is Covalent's API suite, one SDK, 100 plus chains, structured, decoded, price blockchain data ready for your app. When you call a raw Solana RPC for token balances, you get mint addresses and lamp codes, no USDC value, no token name, no spam classification. You have to build all of it yourself. Goldrush hands you portfolio value in USDT, token metadata, spam flags on every token, approval days, 30-day historical chart, all in one single call. So instead of doing multiple calls for the data that you want, you can make one simple call for all your on-chain API needs. What takes like a week of custom indexing or like building out, querying like multiple endpoints, you can just get through one endpoint. But here's what builders don't know. There are four ways to access Gold Rush. You can get it through REST API, which everyone uses, and three others that most teams in this hackathon completely ignored. Those three are also what I'm covering today. First, what if you could hit the Gold Rush API with no sign up, no API key, no account, and your AI agent pays its own bills by its own? That's right, that's X402. So, a quick summary on X402. We recently introduce exposure to payments through Goldrush, where right now it's on base Tripola testnet. Make sure to go through it. Let a team know if you liked anything, if you dislike anything, of course. So through Expo02, since the API key is dead for agentic apps, here's what it replaces. Expo02 is a payment protocol built on HTTP 402, a status code that's been in the specs since 1996 and was never used. It means payment required. Someone finally used it. Here's how it works. Instead of an API key, your agent or app sends a micro payment in USDC on base with the request. The proxy validates the payment, forwards the call to Goldrush, returns the data, no account, no sign up, no key rotation, no rate limited to a single credential. The base URL is exposure2.goldrush.dev slash v1. We have over 60 plus foundational API endpoint. So just drop in the replacement for the standard URL. That's how you can use it. Why does this matter for the hackathon? Two reasons. First, zero friction for judges. Your demo doesn't need a managed API key. There's nothing to expire, nothing to rotate, nothing to accidentally expose in your GitHub repo. The payment is the credential. Second, this is the native payment model for AI agents. Your autonomous agent doesn't have a credit card, it has a wallet. Exposure to lets that agent call Goldrush endpoints and tape a query from its own on-chain balance. The agent funds its own intelligence. For builders targeting the agentic use case, and that is a strong angle for this hackathon, Exposure 2 is the architecture that makes the story complete. So if you're building something agent related, please let us know in chat and we'll go through it in the end. So I'll move forward. Next, we are covering the fastest path to Gold Rush data without writing any code through 17 commands, terminal first, pipes directly into your cloud. That's the CLI. So if I just go over to CLI, right? The Gold Rush CLI basically is something that we built and it has over 17 commands. You just install it once through a simple npm command. It lives and exists on your system. You can just install once, scan any wallet in one line, pipe the output anywhere. The use cases aren't obvious until you think about them. Exploratory research before you write any app code. What does the wallet actually hold? Scripting, pipe wallet data into a Python script that generates a report, and the most powerful MCP support is also built in. So you can pipe blockchain data directly into Cloud or any MCP compatible agent. Here's how I'd use it in a hackathon. Before you write any schema, before you design your UI, run a few CLI queries against the wallets you want to support. Understand what the data actually looks like. that saves you from building the wrong thing and having to refactor it 3 days into the deadline. Builders in this batch who got burned by unexpected raw PC data, the CLI would have shown them the Goldust response in 30 seconds before they wrote even a single line of app code. That's what we consistently saw across most of the submissions: 429 errors, failed proxies. So this is a really good tool that you guys should be utilizing. And everything I'm about to cover with MCP and agents works better when you spend 20 minutes with the CLI itself. It's so explorationally. So please go through the CLI. It's a simple command, and what you can do is you can query portfolio knowledge, market discoveries, agent integrations, trading intelligence, and it is built for this agents. So coming to the MCP, so I'll just give an intro for the MCP. Now, the one thing that changes how you build entirely, if you're using Cursor, Windsurf, or Cloud Code, because let's be honest, everyone is vibe coding these days, you can add 100 plus blockchains to your editor as native data source. 5 minutes, that MCP. MC basically is 100 chains in your editor. You can add 100 plus blockchains in your AI editor in 5 minutes. So what is MCP? MCP is how AI editors and agents get access to external tools and data source. Anthropic built the spec, Cursor, Claude, Windsurf, all support it natively. Golder ships an MCP server, adds it to your editor config in 5 minutes. After that, when you're building in Cursor, you can ask what are the top holdings of this wallet, and your AI assistant queries Goldrush, gets a structured response, and uses that data to write your code. Let them land for a few seconds. Your AI coding assistant, which already knows TypeScript, React, and Next.js, now also knows the live on-chain state of any wallet across 100 plus states in real time. The workflow of this enables you to build a dashboard instead of look up AI docs, writing test calls, inspecting responses, and writing the component. You describe what you want in chat, the MCP queries the gold rush, the editor sees the actual data shape and writes the component against real data from the start. No context switching, no postman, no manual AI exploration. Your editor knows what's on chain. Setup is the MCP server at goldust.dev/docs. You can easily get it, add the config to endpoint, point it to API key, or use X402. So there's no key at all. That's all you need. So this is how the you'll go with for the config. For example, if first thing you'll need to do is you first need to register, of course, go through the registration, then you can directly install it via npx, and you'll need to add this config into your cloud desktop config. That's the root folder. So we have made specific guides for that as well. So this is like a very good guide where you can just see how you can add the MCP. Then apart from that, if you're using Cloud Code through a CLI like Vestum or Ghosty, you can simply add it through this Cloud Code CLI. But don't forget to enter your API key here as well, because that's really required. Then you'll have to go through it all over again. Then for cursor, we have given the set steps as well. Just make sure again you enter the API key. We have given for cursor, we have given for Windsurf. Then we've also given a programmatic use case. So this is how you be able to go through it. We through the MCP we expose over 50 tools for interacting with blockchain. So you can get a summary of wallet activity. It's cross chain, over 100 plus chains. Then for balances, then for transactions, for NFTs, securities, Bitcoin, prices, and utility. So this is just a variation of the amount of data and what we are able to give. And in terms of the resources, we also have the supported chains page that includes all the chains that Boulder supports. So please go through it for whatever use case you may be building. And in terms of MCP, if you have any suggestions, we are look forward to it. I'll also paste it in the chat for people going through it live. Then if I just move to the next thing, right? Uh, I'll just let me show you how you can use these three pieces stacked together into something that has hasn't been built yet in this hackathon. An autonomous agent that reads on-chain data, makes decision, and pays its own AI bills. So let me just go through a specific AI section. So this is a custom page for Goldrush agents. We have an agent directory where we have given specific configs for whatever agent we're using. If you're a fan of Cloud Code, we have given a specific setup for Cloud Code. Even the example prompts, the available MCP tools, what you may be able to query through it, common workflows. We have also given an example of what you can build. One of our top builds right now in the hackathon, just to set context, is a portfolio analyzer, which also gives you a risk score, gives you a safety score, and it has over 16 endpoints uh, in there integrated. So it's really smart, really nice. So that's there. Then let me just go through the rest. So we also have codecs. We have Gemini CLI, we have Cursor, we have OpenClaw. Many of you might be also be using OpenClaw agents to build for these projects. Then we have OpenCode, KiloCode. The list is endless. So just please just go through it and see whatever agent you're using. You can use directly integrate Goldrush into it and just use it. And just to give us some examples of what's possible through Coldrush, portfolio tracker, of course, where you can do multi-chain token balances in one call, real-time USD price conversion, historical portfolio value tracking across plenty chains, even DEX trading signals, where you can monitor DEX pair creation and less token prices using the Coldrush streaming API for real-time trading signals. So this is possible. This is also again just resurfacing on what we had built here. It shows it's very similar to DEX right now, but we have integrated this many chains from Mega ETH, Monad, Base, BNB, Tempo, Polygon, Solana, Hyper EVM, and it gives you an OHLCV chart. It gives you bubble maps. It gives you a safety score, and based on historical transactions, it gives you momentum, gainers, losers, spikes, over time durations over as well. So just to give you just to set context on what's possible here, this is what we can build over a weekend. So we are really looking forward to really cool builds. Then again, multi-agent pipelines are also on our radar because plenty AI products and we have all all AI integration that you might need for this, right? So that's there. Then let me just come back to my screen. Then if you're building agent first, again, we really like to have a look. Uh, Please feel free to drop on into chat whatever you might be building, and we'll really be looking forward to reviewing and just giving some suggestions, right? So let me just come back to the hackathon autopsy. So go over I'll just go over some this meanwhile. There's some reviews for the projects and just four patterns mainly that we found were really risky and really not that good, I would say. So first of all, I reviewed eight submissions, tested every live demos, four patterns, separated the ones that worked from the ones that didn't. So pattern one was depth. The weakest submission had gold rush in the footer itself. One balance call, that's it. Just powered by gold rush. That's not integration. That's branding. The winning submission used 5 endpoints. Every endpoint mapped to a specific insight in the product. Balances to spam score, historical is not just integration. So approval to secretaries, each call had a reason. So the test is if you replace Goldrush with any other data source tomorrow, will your product still exist? If yes, you're using it as a commodity. If no, if the RISCO only works because Goldrush gives you spam flags and approval data and historical snapshot in parallel calls, now it's a Goldrush product. So we're looking for devs, basically, devs and teams to specifically build on products that are unique and that are really cool and ambitious, right? And we are really open to helping with any queries, right? Then on pattern two, we have the architecture. Three submissions hit 452. It's the same pattern every time where the direct browser fetches the api.colon.hq.com. The fix is a server-side proxy. It's like a Next.js API routing for all devs that are using Next.js. They'll need to use a Vercel Edge function or a Cloudflare worker. It's just 10 lines, it just takes 10 minutes. The builders who got past this ran the API server side. The ones who didn't, we just couldn't test the demo so far. So if you guys have deployed your demo so far, please check the deployed version, tested ones. Just ensure each part is functional and make sure to post about it as well. We are going through all posts, all submissions regarding the hackathon project, and we're really looking forward to give early feedback. Then the brief is a rubric. The boldest tag brief says score wallet risk from SPL token balances, approval hygiene, and full transaction history. That sentence contains three specific endpoints. The submission that won wins answered every word in that sentence. Read the briefs first, just go through what we have mentioned in the description, just go through our docs, just go through examples, see what's possible through Gold Rush, everything that I've shared just from the start to the finish. Just go through everything and see what's possible, what you can add on to the extra project, what and will also willing to help ideate on your product and just help out in any way possible. Just map each phrase to an endpoint if we have already given and written it out for you in the description. Then when it comes to distribution, one team built something nobody has thought about. Every wallet scans generates a dynamic open graph card. Shares a wallet link on Twitter and the preview shows the live risk score. Every share is a goldish powered scan. It's not just a feature, it's like distribution is built into the architecture. The product markets itself. This is something that really caught our eye. We reached out to them personally. So make sure you are thinking beyond just building for this hackathon, but make sure you're building, having marketing, prepare, even just posting about it during the duration of your hackathon at least. Just please post updates about hackathon, how demos if possible, so, which pattern is your project missing? Please drop it as well. If it's missing depth, if it's missing proxy, if it's missing briefs, if it's missing distributions, we'll be happy to help. Then the three rules to win the Polish hackathon track, in my opinion, and this is the most important part because I know you guys have been working really hard for it, and we have seen really, really wonderful projects come out of this hackathon. So just have keep this in mind while building the product. So Goldlist lives on the server, never in the browser. Please put a API key in the environment in your ENV. I know plenty people must be vibe coding, but please ensure it does. Call from a route or an age function. This one rule prevents the most common failure mode in the entire batch because right now most of our submissions we aren't able to just demo because of this single error where it's the demos are just not working because of the failed proxy. Just make sure you do this. Then rule two, just have one endpoint per insight. Don't call the API, just display a table. Call the API if possible, compute a signal, like just the dex option that I just showed for something that we've built. It shows you upcoming momentum trending tokens on dex.goldwatch.dev. So please build something like that and compute a signal. Just don't show the API data. Use spam count, use approval list, use wallet age. Each call should answer one specific question about the wallet that should be able to compute a signal. And for rule three, answer the brief for for like SQL token balances, approval hygiene, transaction history. Those aren't just suggestions. They are like the three-dimensional scores you need to build. Every word in the description is like a signal for you for what you want, what we are looking for. Just go through the super team page and just go through a track description, please. Right? Then for the tools, again, if you haven't signed up yet, just please go to goldrush.dev, get an API key. The full docs is on goldrush.dev dash docs for the API for the MCP server, the X402, everything that I mentioned, your AI integration setup, everything is in goldrush.dev dash docs. Apart from that, if you have any queries, please feel free to reach out through Twitter. Then everything I covered today is live, like no waitlist, no wait access. You can open a new tab and just start it. Like links are in the chat for everything that I discussed. Let me just post the docs as well, just to you guys. Then if if you guys have any questions, we have a Q&A session. So please feel free to drop any questions. And if you we are also looking at we are also actively looking on to Twitter to see any submissions that might happen. So please also post on Twitter actively. Any questions so far? Okay, just to answer some Q&A that I had. So uh, just from what I saw on it. So what is multi-chain, same wallet address you can query across Solana and all EVM chains through one SDK call. Then the next question that I had was exposure to rate limits are currently 100 requests per minute per wallet. There's no monthly cap, just pay per call in USDC. Then first I had a question regarding MCP in cursor specifically. So just add it to your dot cursor file, just add it in mcp.json, restart your editor, and it should show up as a native tool the AI can call. Then that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out through feel free to reach out through our Twitter, through our Telegram, whatever works. We are really looking forward to releasing cool submissions, and thanks for joining.